Massive protests have been underway as President Obama and other NATO leaders have been meeting in Chicago. One of the big topics has been the strategy for Afghanistan. Tonight we know a little bit more about the end of the war that really isn't the end of the war. Ben has the reality check you won't see anywhere else.
Reality Check has been telling you for several weeks now that despite the promise that the U.S. will officially end the mission in Afghanistan in 2014, all of our soldiers, even after that time, are not coming home.
I don't think that there's ever going to be an optimal point where we say this is all done, this is perfect, this is just the way we wanted it, and now we can wrap up all our equipment and go home. There's a process. And it's sometimes a messy process, just as it was in Iraq.
So how messy is the process? Well, rather than coming home, in 2014, our troops and tax dollars will continue to be sent to Afghanistan for at least 10 years longer than what the president had said. The new mission, as the administration is calling it, sure looks like the old mission. Our troops will continue to train Afghan military and police, despite the issue that Reality Check has informed you about, where the number of attacks by those Afghan soldiers and police on our soldiers is steadily on the rise. NATO leaders and most national media have also ignored the veterans of the Iraq and Afghanistan wars, who this week came to Chicago to return medals they have received for fighting the global war on terror. These 45 men and women have asked NATO officials to receive the medals back, but no one came out in Chicago to meet them. So instead, they threw the medals over a fence. These soldiers say they're not protesting those who are currently serving in the military, but they are protesting the wars.
I'm one of 40,000 people that left the United States Armed Forces because this is a lie.
I will not continue to trade my humanity for false heroism.
And then, of course, the other issue glossed over in this NATO summit is the financial burden. CNN's Wolf Blitzer asked President Karzai about the fact that he recently prevented Congressman Dana Rohrabacher from entering the country of Afghanistan. And here's why Karzai said he did it.
A democratically elected congressman of the United States of America should not be talking of an ethnic divide in Afghanistan, should not be interfering in Afghanistan's internal affairs, should not be asking the Afghan people to have a federal structure as against what the Afghan constitution has asked for.
So in essence, Karzai is saying that he doesn't want U.S. congressmen telling his country how it should operate. And that's a fair point. The only problem is President Karzai says that out of one side of his mouth, then out of the other. ABC News reporting that Karzai is asking for at least $4.1 billion per year from U.S. taxpayers just to support police and soldier operations, and then another $6 billion in overall aid. Karzai has said that his country will need at least $10 billion per year in overall aid through 2025. And that's what you need to know. Under this plan, a war that is already the longest in U.S. history, that is supposed to end in 2 years, will go on for at least another 10 years after that. And of course, over the course of those years, it will cost taxpayers, you and me, $100 billion at least. The biggest question that no one in NATO or the Obama administration is answering: what are we getting for that investment of lives and treasure? And that is Reality Check.
If you'd like to make your voice heard on the story, head over to Ben's Facebook page. You can find it by searching Ben Swann, WX.